Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple little fun fold card. It's one that you can use to show off designer series paper or a little image really easily, and it doesn't use much card and it doesn't use much paper either. Now when you open this, you have this little flap on the right hand side, and to close it you just fold that flap behind your sentiment there and it keeps it closed. So let me show you what you need and how to make it. First of all, you need your base card, and I've put the measurements here for you. You need a piece that's 8.5 by 5.5, and that's our normal size for cards. I've already scored it at 4.25, and I'm going to chop off a little 2-inch strip. So I'm just going to pop it in the trimmer, line it up at 2 inches, and I'm just going to cut that off. Now I saved this little piece and I'll show you what you can do with these kind of pieces in a couple of minutes. Let's put that down for a second. So you now have your base card, and it only has the strip at the right hand side. And our little fun fold piece is going to attach onto here. So to cut that, you need a piece of the same colour cardstock as your base, and we're just going to cut it at 3.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to measure it up, and you can see I'm just using sort of a scrap piece for this. You don't need very much. Okay, and you need to score one side of it at 1/2 inch. I'm just going to put it back in the trimmer. And if you don't have a trimmer that scores as well, you can use a scoring board and a scoring tool. That works as well. Okay, so this little piece is going to become our flap. I'm just going to fold it, and then it's going to attach to here, and it will go over the front there. Now let's start and decorate this and get the next pieces that we need. So let's do the front piece first. For this left hand side, this is the little piece here, you need a piece of card that measures 2 by 5.25. And I've cut a piece of cherry cobbler. And it is going to be a Christmassy card, so I've sort of chosen Christmassy colours. But the colours were part of this designer series paper. And this is the little plaid tie-ins set. And this is actually my second pack of this. I found it so useful for things during the year because it had these lovely harvest colours, it's had sort of summery colours, all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be Christmas, it doesn't have to be birthday, you can use it for lots of different things. That will retire as well at the end of this year. So if you do want that, make sure you get in quickly too. Okay, so I'm going to attach this to the front. Let me find my stamping seal. You don't need much, just a little bit. And if you prefer wet glue, you know, that works as well. Okay, and I'm just going to put the designer series paper over the top. And the paper itself was cut at 1 3/4 by 5. So it's just 1/4 inch smaller than the little cherry cobbler piece that we popped on. Okay. I could have stuck that down a little bit. I've put it up a little bit high, but never mind. It will be fine. Now for the inside, you need a piece of Whisper White, and this measures 5.25 by 4. And I'm actually going to stamp it right in the middle. I've got my shaded spruce because that's the colour of my base card. And I've taken a sentiment from, let me show you, from the Poinsettia petals. This is actually the set that we're using. I'm not going to use any of the other stamps, I'm going to use dies. But I just wanted this one, May Magic and Wonder Bloom This Holiday. So I'm just going to stamp right in the middle. And if you stamp right in the middle, the little fun flap that you're creating, it will sort of cover all of the sentiment until you want the people to see it, until they open the card. Hoping that's straight. Yep, that's straight enough for me. close that up for a moment. We will do some more stamping in a couple of minutes. In fact, while that dries, let's do our other stamping. For this front, I've chosen just a little sentiment from this Zany Zebras, the It's Time to Celebrate. I only wanted something quite small because I want to punch it out and have it on the front, and I didn't want a really big sentiment. So I'm just going to ink this up. Let's hold it for a second or two. There we go. Doesn't matter that it's not straight because I'm going to cut it out with a punch. And I've got my punches ready. I'm using a 1 1/4 inch punch and a 1 1/2 inch punch. If you just have circle dies, that works. If you have punches or sentiments that are a little bit bigger and you need a bigger punch, that will work too. But try not to make it too big or it takes up too much of the space down here. And you can find that it would easily overlap. Okay, so that's our little piece for there. I'll put the other punch down because I don't need to punch that for a moment. But this is dry, so I'm going to attach it to the inside. Now you can see I'm putting my tape on, but I don't actually need to attach it here until I've put the little fun flap over. And so here's our piece that we cut with the score line down. So the folded piece is going to go to the back, and I'm just going to sort of attach it, but make sure that it's sort of level top and bottom. Okay, now my tape runner has just run out, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue, a bit of my liquid glue on the back there. I could get up and just go get some more tape, but I won't. Okay, so let's pop that on the inside here. And that creates that little flap over piece. It's simple to do. Okay, so now I want to put another layer of card on here. And so for this here, this is what we need, 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And I've cut another little piece of cherry cobbler. Oops. I'm just going to attach that on there. And on my first card, I didn't put this extra layer of cardstock down. Let me get it just to show you again. I put DSP and then nothing else. But on this card, I'm going to add an extra layer here. I'm going to add a piece of Whisper White, because I want to put a poinsettia on here, like a 3D poinsettia, and I want it to really stand out. And I found that if I only had the Designer Series paper down, it didn't pop out just as much as I wanted it to. So now this piece of card is the white layer at 2 1/2 by 3. And you can see that I wrote extra over here because you don't actually need it. If you don't want to, you don't have to put this on. It's just that for my little piece that I want to put on the front, I needed it to be white to show off the flower. And then I'm going to use the dies that come with the poinsettia petals. And you can see that I've attached all of mine with washi tape. If you want them to emboss at the same time, I would suggest putting washi tape on. If you don't, if you just want to use the outline, then you just take this piece out. They are separate pieces. I just have mine sort of all together so that it made it easier. I didn't have to put the card through the embossing machine to cut it out and then put it through again with the little embossing piece on. So I just keep mine together, and I find it easier if I've got that washi tape on. I don't have to keep trying to make sure it's level or anything. So I've cut out just the middle size and the smallest size. I didn't use the bigger one because I didn't want a really big poinsettia. So I've only got 2 layers here. And then I've got one of the little beaded pearls that goes with this set. These are retiring, these little beaded pearls. I think they have 50% off at the moment, but the poinsettia dies and stamps are not. I think we must be getting those back for next year as well. because they're so pretty. I did also use this die, and I cut out 2 of those just with our gold foil card. And this is going to go on here. Just work out which way around you like it. Okay. I'm only going to put it down with wet glue. I'm not going to put it on a dimensional or anything. I did put the little mousse on a dimensional, but because this is already on a dimensional for this layer and then it's got these beads on, I didn't want anything to be sort of any thicker than it already was. Okay, and I'm just going to pop these in. I only put a little bit of glue in the middle of the back of the poinsettia, as you probably saw, and that means I can lift these up and see if, oh, I might just take a little piece off. It's just a bit longer than I want. Just lift those up and you can just pop it behind. And I'd like it to go over the edge of the fun flap here, but not too far over. So let's get rid of that little piece. And then let's have a look at this second one. Ordinarily, I would like it down there, but this is where our sentiment's going to be. I'm going to put it at the bottom. You could also put it at the top. I might just put it at the top, and I might put this spray down at the bottom. Let's see how that goes. Now, and this is not sort of a new design at all. I'm going to take that piece off as well. It's one of those sort of a classic design for using up little scraps and everything. There we go. Oh, let's pop that down there. Okay, and get rid of that little piece. Now, I did say that I would tell you what to do with these pieces. While I've been making these cards and I've had this piece left over from here, these are the pieces I've been using to do this backing piece, this where I've got the cherry cobbler here. And you just need to cut it down slightly, and that means that you don't waste this. Also, what I've been doing is using them to punch out my backing for my sentiments too. So they do come in for lots of things, this kind of size. So don't put them aside and think, oh, I can't use those anymore. Let's just tuck that in. Let me just find my little pokey tool. Let's use this one. It's just sticking out a little bit further than I want. That's it. Just tucked it under there. Okay. And then you can choose which of the colours you want your backing for your little sentiment. You can have it like the shaded spruce or the cherry cobbler. Let's see what I've got around. I've got scraps of both, so let's cut both and see. And the sentiment itself was cut at 1.5, so I've just got it was at 1 1/4, I beg your pardon. So I've just got a 1/4 inch bigger punch here. And I find that a 1/4 inch, it's sort of pleasing to the eye, just that little border, and it matches these borders too. Now let's see what colour we're gonna like here. I think I might be going with the green, with the shaded spruce. Yeah, I think I like the green better. Okay, so let's attach these. And then to make this stand up so that it works as the stopper for the little fold from opening, you just need a couple of dimensionals. And you close down the flap and then take 2 dimensionals, and we're going to put them round this 90-degree angle here. And I like to put it so that the flat piece or the straight piece of the dimensional is straight, matching with this line. Don't put it too near to the card because that means you can't open it easily. So I'm just holding this down. Okay, and then just take this backing off. And this will work for our little stopper here. Okay, so I'm going to close it again, and I'm just going to offer it up so that it covers over the corner of this flap. Okay, so that you can open the card. Ooh, a little piece of fluff in there. And then to close it up, you just bend it behind that again. Okay, and let's put a couple of little embellishments on as well. I've got these wonderful gems. I believe these will retire as well. I don't remember from just looking at the book earlier, but I believe these are retiring too. And I'm just going to pop a couple. Just going to pop the red ones on. I mean, you don't have to put any on at all, but I just want to put a couple on, just because I like it. I don't know where to put them now. Let's see. There we go. I just like it. It's Christmas time and it's nice to have a few little bits on. There we go. So there we are. That's a very, very simple little front flap card. Here's my original one that I made. I love this one, but actually everything I've made with this poinsettia set, it's just been so pretty. And these little pearls, this little pearled centre, that just makes the whole poinsettia. I have made some of them and used this one, and it cuts out, you know, like just a little centre flower, and I've made that in gold as well. And if I've had to post a card and it's going overseas, they're the ones that I've put on, but I just love these. If you did want them to be a different colour, you can colour those with your blends and just go over it with your pen. If you want them to be yellow, say, or, you know, like maybe the Mango Melody would be pretty, just go over it. I did find on mine that I needed to colour it twice. So I coloured with the blender pen, left it to dry, and then coloured again. But there we go. I hope you like those, and I hope you'll join me again on a video again really soon. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.